Thank you very much, Jenny, and thank you, everybody. My name is Isaac. I've been lucky enough to be working at First Give for almost 6 years now. But I'd actually like to start my pitch today by asking all of you a quick question. And don't panic, I hope it should be a nice, easy one for you. So who here believes that giving to charity and being generous is a really good thing that we should be encouraging? Excellent. That is a relief, isn't it? Everyone else who's pitching today. I ask that question partly because, of course, it is why we're here today, but it's also a really good introduction to our work at First Give. The latest National Youth Social Action Survey concludes that 82% of young people care about making the world a better place. Yet the number who are participating in social action activities, such as fundraising or volunteering, is actually falling year on year. Well, at First Give, we believe in inspiring and equipping children to take action to tackle the causes that they care about. We believe in their ability to make a difference now, but we also aim to inspire a habit of service and giving for life. Let me introduce you to a group of incredible young women. As a result of taking part in the First Give programme, they were inspired to make positive change in their own community. So their decision to go into primary schools and deliver workshops on equality and women's rights was pretty impressive on its own. But as well as designing and delivering these workshops, they also fundraised in order to purchase children's books on the issue of equality, which they donated to all of the schools that they visited. I particularly liked this quote that's up behind me from Maya, who said, "I've loved doing this project. Something that I have accomplished is learning to work as a team to create change." And that is what First Give is all about. We currently have partnerships with over 200 secondary schools with whom we deliver the First Give programme, and it looks a little bit like this. To start the programme, a whole year group participates, and they all start learning about social issues that are affecting their community. They then research charities working in their community to tackle those problems, and each class in the year group chooses one that they are going to represent. And a representative from that charity is invited to come in and meet with the students. Students are then supported to plan and carry out their own social action activities. So that might take the form of fundraising, awareness raising, campaigning, or even volunteering. And every programme that we run concludes with a First Give final, a celebration of all the work the whole year group have done, and a public speaking and advocacy competition, which sounds a little familiar, where one of the charities wins a First Give grant of £1,000 towards their charity. So young people who take part in the programme report an increased awareness of the issues affecting their community and of the charities tackling those issues local to them. They also tell us they have an increased motivation to help others. And of course, they develop a whole range of key skills which will help them throughout their lives. However, we believe that our most significant impact will only be seen in maybe 10 or 20 years' time when these young people have become adults who are giving of their time and of their own money and contributing to a kinder world. Now, research from the Jubilee Centre for Character and Virtues reveals that children who start to take part in social action at a younger age are twice as likely to develop a habit of service and giving throughout their lives. So to deepen our impact, we have been developing a programme in partnership with primary schools. In 2022, we worked in partnership with 4 primary schools in London to design and deliver a pilot programme with around 230 Year 6 students. And I'm thrilled to say that in the room, we have one of the teachers who supported us to design and deliver that programme, Eve, who is from Reach Academy Feltham. I think Eve will be coming up as well to do questions later. Thank you, Eve. So the programme had a similar structure to the core programme that I've just described, and was designed to support pupils to come up with their own plans to make a difference. So pupils told us about the importance of that sense of autonomy that they had through the programme and the achievement of having carried out meaningful social action. And these are feelings that we believe will ignite that spark of social conscience and generosity. So tonight, we are asking for your support to allow us to extend that primary pilot next academic year with 8 schools. This would help us further demonstrate schools' appetite for this work, also the impact of the programme, and hopefully attract further funding to scale it beyond next academic year. So the full cost of the pilot is budgeted to be around about £15,000, but we are asking schools to contribute towards those costs as well, which means the total we're looking to raise is £11,883. Your support will allow us to work directly with 8 primary schools with at least 500 children, but perhaps more importantly, it will allow us to realise our ambition of deepening the impact of our work by developing a giving journey. The more deeply we work with young people from the younger age, the more profound we know our impact can be. I'll just remind you then of what Maya told us following her experience of the First Give programme. She told us that the thing that she'd accomplished was learning to work in a team to create change. Young people want to make positive change. I know that, I see it every day, and I believe that you know that too. So it's my absolute pleasure to be able to invite you to join us in supporting the next generation to be kinder, more altruistic, more socially conscious, with the skills and with the confidence to make social change. Thank you.
Fantastic, thank you, Isaac. So we will take questions, and just as a reminder, please wait for the microphone. Any questions for Isaac? There's one in the back.
Thank you. How do you get buy-in from the school? Do they allocate time after school, during school? How does that work?
Yeah, so the programme is designed to be fully integrated into the curriculum. So we insist that it's delivered in curriculum time to a whole year group of students. And that's largely to ensure that students who maybe wouldn't get the opportunity to take part in social action activities through other avenues do get that opportunity, and those barriers are broken down.
Brilliant, thank you.
Yeah, can I just ask your teacher colleague who's come along to talk a little bit about how she would
yeah, Eve, would you like to come up?
Yeah,
I did brief her for this. It wasn't
set up either, was I?
I'm not just landing her in it. Eve, do you want to just talk to us a little bit about the impact of the programme for your pupils?
Yeah, sure. So we did the programme last year, the pilot, and following our partnership with First Give, some of our students actually went to the Feltham Convening Partnership. And they went to the local community centre, and they pitched the local MP about a Feltham youth zone, because our young people in our community don't have anything to do. They're on the street, and that was the big issue that affected them. So they've taken it upon themselves to join the Feltham Convening Partnership and campaign for a youth zone involving the local government to try and get funding so that, yeah, that they can have somewhere to go, get off the street, got somewhere to go after school, and it was absolutely brilliant. And it's basically forged this partnership of my old year 6s who are now year 7 being trained up to become community leaders when they get to sixth form, when they're in year 13, to be spokespeople for children in Feltham. And they have an avenue directly, connections with the local government to actually activate change in our local community. So it was pretty huge, and you can still see the repercussions today. My year 7s are actively campaigning for Feltham to get a youth zone, which is really exciting. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Eve.
One over here.
I noticed that in the past you've received a big chunk of your funding from one grant maker, the Pears Foundation. I wonder if you could say anything about what comfort you've had that they'll continue to support you, and whether they have any influence over where you work.
So we have a fantastic relationship with Pears Foundation. They're a really key funder for us. They actually supported the founding of the organisation, along with the Lower Green Foundation as well. So that relationship is really strong and collaborative as well. So they are, one of the things about the Pears Foundation is they're always listening to what we tell them about our experience of working with schools. They will always come with suggestions, but they would never dictate to us where we should be working.
Thank you. Any other questions? David.
Thank you very much. You said that the real impact you'll see in 10, 20 years' time from these kids. How will you track that? Do you stay in touch with them for many years after they leave? And how do they retain that community hold?
Yeah, it's a really excellent question. And one of the great challenges, I think, for us as an organization is that tracking of that impact and understanding it. And one of the reasons that we've been looking to develop this giving journey is to find a way that instead of just having one intervention in young people's lives that happens in year 9 at school, you have multiple opportunities to engage with them. We haven't figured that all out yet, but it's certainly something that we are grappling with and trying to work out, how do we make sure we do this? But we have great relationships with some good research projects. So, for example, the RSA have run a research on youth social action in primary schools, which we've supported and been involved with, and also the Centre for Philanthropy at the University of Kent. So there are some connections which we think will help us with that.
Brilliant, thank you. Julia, I just want to check that there aren't any questions. No, so I've forgotten that we do have a very small online audience. Michael.
Just wonder about parental involvement.
So because the program takes place within the school day, it's not that there's any requirement for parents to be involved. What we do see is occasionally some schools will run the program, the final event, in the school day in front of the year group, and some will run it as an after-school event and invite parents along to come along as well. I know that at Reach Academy Feltham in the pilot last year, there was some really strong parental engagement, and they all came to a celebration event at the end of that as well, which was fantastic. So I had the opportunity to meet a couple of parents multiple times, because I attended the Feltham Convening Network as well, which was really exciting because it's something I don't normally get to do. But we know that parents are so important in supporting that and making that happen. And one of the things that we do in the primary program is invite people from the community to come into the school as a way of them understanding what are the social issues that are affecting the community. And I think parents can be one of those groups that we would be suggesting.
Brilliant, thank you. Rosanna, how are we for time? One more, Sue?
How do you select the schools you're going to work with?
Yeah.
Do you look in particular districts, ones with more poverty or varied populations?
Yeah, an excellent question. I mean, I think from our perspective, we think that any young person would benefit from taking part in the program. But of course, it's important to get young people who wouldn't normally get these opportunities. So we have partnerships with schools in certain regions where we have a hub in London in the southeast, Wales, and in South Wales, in the West Midlands and in West Yorkshire, where we have staff based to deliver the programs. And that's some of that's funder driven, but some of it's just trying to reach areas which maybe don't have these opportunities as much. And we've started targeting our school recruitment to schools where there's a higher than average free school meal percentage of the population. So that's one of the other targeting mechanisms.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Isaac.
Thank you. Thank you very much.